Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Char Bear. Today we're doing a video on a DIY on how to do your brows. I selected a few products to simplify your shaping, tweezing, and trimming of your brow. So the first product I chose was the foundation from e.l.f., which is pretty cool because you could use it on every skin tone, light, medium, or dark. So today I'm gonna use for myself, I'm gonna use the first one. The second product that's in the kit is a brow measurement sticker, which is cool because we're gonna be able to put it on our forehead. And obviously this is not true to everybody's face, but I'm gonna kind of show you some ways to cut it and customize it to your eyebrow. The third product is your scissors, and then your fourth product is gonna be your set of brushes. It's 20 pieces, but we're only gonna use 3 of them. I'm only gonna use 3 of them just to kind of show you guys the different ways you could utilize the actual set. I'll do a video on the entire set another day. For my brow, I have microblading in them. Although it looks kind of funky right now, it look like washed out. The reason why I did a full face of makeup too is to show you the importance of an eyebrow and what it does to your face. I have a full face on, and without eyebrows, it just looks washed out. So this is why I did it this way, to show you the importance of an eyebrow. And so the first thing that we're gonna do is use our measuring tool. And the only other thing that you're gonna need that's not in the kit is an eyeshadow brush, an eyeshadow palette with preferably brown or black. It doesn't matter if you don't own any eyeshadow palette, a brow pencil, an eyeliner pencil, of some type of palette that has a dark powder in it. What I'm gonna use is this Morphe palette, so something like this. So I'm gonna use one of these flat colors. So the sticker comes like this. Let me see, that'll focus. But anyways, and you're gonna lift it at the corners. And what happens is that so this sticker has an actual brow on it already. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you push it out so it's a negative space. This one came off. Okay. It's a little tricky working from this mirror and on the camera. So if you guys kind of see me back and forth, it's because I'm trying to put it on, but I'll try to get as much as I can with the camera. Okay. So this one, already you can see how it's not true to my eyebrow. Try to get it as close as you can to the stencil as you can, right? And like I was saying, for women who have a shorter brow, and obviously a fuller brow too, because this one is a little thinner. I know you can't really see it too much on the camera, but when you get it in the kit, you'll be able to see. We're gonna want to use, so you can use a pen, a permanent marker, a dark lipstick liner, something that you can like fill in on the actual plastic. Let me see, so you guys can be able to see. So here, this is the stencil here. And then what you're gonna wanna do is, my eyebrow, obviously it goes a little bit higher, right? So what I want, because I want that fullness in the brow, is I'm gonna mark here. So this side I already finished. Actually, I need to fill in a little bit, but this side we're gonna mark. And I'm using a lipstick liner. Like I said, the best thing to use is a permanent marker, or if you don't have that, a pen, something real quick that you could just write on the plastic, because that's what we're gonna cut, okay? So we're gonna do that. And then see on the bottom, I wanna cut a little bit. Okay, cool. So you can see I just marked a little bit. I'm gonna bring it down just to kind of see where I'm going to cut it up on top. So this is this. You know, it looks funny. And then we're gonna pull this. Mine has, obviously you don't want to do this with makeup. For me, the rule of thumb, you guys already know when I'm doing makeup, is always gonna be your eyebrows first. So yeah, so we're gonna use your scissors. These are the scissors that come in the kit. So I'm gonna cut ever so slightly to the line that I just had. So I'm cutting at the front of the brow where it was true to my face and where I made where the lines are at. The lines where I made the lines at. In the foundation palette, there is this little brush, and this is the one, let me see, this little brush, okay. This is the brush that we're gonna use to fill in the brow. Okay, I'm gonna use a mirror. Once I get it true to my brow, then I will show you guys. Oh shoot, okay. So, see how I kind of made it a little fuller to my brow? And then you're gonna do the same to the other side. But remember I mentioned I did that already. But what I'm gonna do is, because I didn't make the corners thick enough, I'm gonna do that real quick. So getting back to what I was saying about someone who doesn't have this length of a brow, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging, but you're definitely gonna be able to do it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shorten up the brow. So what you'll do is measure only, like, let's say your brow is only that short, right? It only comes to here. So we'll fill in, right? We'll fill in only here, and then we'll move the arch down here, you know, to whatever fullness or whatever length of your face shape is. This is what I mean when I say to your face shape. So I'm gonna put this back on. Pull this down a little bit. Okay. Another thing too is trying to get this piece right here as symmetrical as you can to your face. Obviously, none of our faces are perfect except mine. Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to use this little baby here on this shadow palette. So a little brush, we're gonna pat in the color. Okay. So now I have the brows powdered in with the stencil, and you're gonna go ahead and remove. Boom. Okay. We're going to let's use a smaller flat brush. It's gonna look like this. And like I said, I'm gonna use the first color. I'm gonna actually use the mirror in this one. Just put the excess on your wrist here, and then kind of move the product over. And you're just trying to make a straight line. You're just trying to mimic the stencil that we just placed as perfect as you can. So what this is gonna help us do is gonna help us guide where not to tweeze your brow or over trim your brow. So now that we have our guide, we're just gonna go ahead and trim everything outside this line. We're gonna go ahead and tweeze. I don't know about you guys, but it's been about, how long have we been in quarantine? 2 weeks or so? My brows are looking funky. You wanna remember too to always kind of pull your skin just ever so slightly to have a really nice base when you're tweezing. When you're tweezing against your skin, because what's gonna happen is, if you're anything like me with this fat meat right here, you're gonna pinch yourself, and I'm sure everyone has pinched themselves from one time to another with tweezers. So now that we're done tweezing, this is more of the challenging part, is the trimming. And we're gonna use our spoolie brush, which is this one. So we're gonna use our spoolie brush to just comb your brows up. You wanna brush your brows the way that they grow naturally. For me, my brows grow two different ways. In the front, it's gonna grow up, and then on the sides, it grows down. You never wanna grab your spoolie and lift here and cut. What's gonna happen is if you cut too much, you're gonna have a dip in there. And that's on any part of the brow. So what I like to do is I like to keep my brows a little long here in the front, only because I have little to no brow. I know you can't really tell so much because I have the microblading done there. So we're still gonna use the concealer as our guide. We're gonna trim little by little. So if you have shaky hands, what you wanna do is use your mirror and then your fingers here. You're gonna use this as your guide. So your hand, or your finger. You're gonna use your finger as your guide if you have shaky hands. And sometimes when you are doing this, to your brow, your guide can kind of mess up. So it's nice to just go back and kind of redo it so you don't get lost in the shape. So now after you trimmed your brows, you want to just go ahead and clean it off with a makeup wipe. And boom, there you have nice clean brows. Yeah, so that's an easy way to keep up your brows during quarantine. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna do a little fill-in to kind of match with the makeup that I do have, because right now, as you can see, they're a little too light for me and I pretty much have a full face of makeup on. So I'm gonna fill in with, I'm gonna do the NYX chocolate pencil brow. So I like to just kind of work in the front because that's where I'm hurting the most. A good way to balance the products onto your face without being too harsh is using your pinky as your base. And I do that in all my makeup tutorials. You're gonna hear me say that over and over. It's gonna give you a really nice touch. For me, I'm going to just use the pencil on the bottom only because I do have microblading and I don't really need too much to add to this full face. That's what's really cool about having microblading, is that it eliminates your time from doing your makeup. It does still give you a natural approach. So when you do a full face of makeup, you do want to add just a hint of color, and that's what I'm doing by using the pencil. Yeah. So when you kind of want to brush it out little by little, that'll give you that more blended brow. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and highlight my brow. So remember I was mentioning that this comes with 4 different colors. I'm still gonna use the first one for me, and like I said, just based off your skin tone, you can kind of play with it. This palette is a cream based palette, so it's super creamy, but this one's really creamy. And what I like to do with these kind of products when I'm using them on my brow only is I leave them open. Like overnight, and I kind of want them to get a drier consistency, and it'll help move, you'll be able to move the product a little bit smoother. So I'm gonna use the other flat brush that's in the brush kit to really clean up the brow. I know I get a lot of DMs or a lot of questions on my Instagram about what I use under my brow. or when I'm doing my brow tutorials or my brow services on clients, I'm just using a concealer. Nothing special, none of those brow highlighters. You can just use a concealer. And like I said, this kit has this one, but if you have something different that you want to use, then definitely go ahead and use that. But you want something more of like a thicker consistency, and you want very minimal. And then lastly, you kind of just want to soften up the front. For me, because I did a full face, I'm just gonna pick up the concealer that I used earlier. The foundation that I used earlier, to kind of just clean up like under my, actually I'm just gonna use the sponge that I used earlier to clean all this up. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. There's a link in my bio to purchase the kit, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.